my process assist video presentation, I'll be showing you how to shift gears on a 10-speed manual Eaton Fuller transmission. This can be useful for people who are looking to get their CDLs and possibly pursuing a career in truck driving. And I'll be doing my best to explain my process of shifting gears. So what you first want to do is you want to make sure that your brakes are off before you start moving, because if they're left on and say you get on a highway or something, it'll be very hard to move and it can mess with your shifting sequence, and that could be a problem. You'd be a road hazard then. So just make sure those are off before you start moving. The second step is you want to push in the clutch, which is the very left pedal down there, and you want to push that in, move it all the way left and down into the first gear. You want to let off the clutch slowly. It's important to let off the clutch slowly to let the transmission build up power, because if you let it off too fast, you'll stall the engine, and then you'll have to restart the truck and do it again. So you just want to make sure you let off the clutch slow when you put it in the gear. To shift up gears, what you want to do is you want to accelerate. I like to do it around 1500 to 1700 RPMs. And you want to, at the same time, you want to take your foot off the accelerator and move it out of gear. Let the RPMs drop and then move it into gear, like so. I'm in second gear. I'm in third gear. I'm in fourth gear. It's important to practice your shifting sequence. Be a little rough at first, but after you practice, then you'll start getting smoother at it. I'm in fourth gear right now. I'm in fifth gear. The next step when you're shifting is you want to shift from low to high range. When doing this, it's important to remember to flip the range selector to the high position, like so. And you want to move it all the way left and down, back into the first gear position. But since you're in the high range, you'll be in the sixth gear position. And it's the same shifting process as to shift up gears. I'll show you how to do that right now. Now I'm in sixth gear. Seventh gear. When driving in a semi in general, you want to be very wary of your surroundings, because there's more blind spots than a regular vehicle. Now I'm in eighth gear. In a second, I will show you the process to shift down gears. It's basically, when you think about it, it's basically the opposite of shifting up gears. The opposite process. So what you want to do is you want to decelerate to, I like to do it around 1100 RPMs roughly. And you want to take it out of gear by moving your foot. You want to take your foot off the accelerator and move it out of gear. You want to accelerate about 400 RPMs or so. It doesn't have to be exact, but I went from 1100 to 1500, and now I'm in seventh gear. And you want to do that as you shift down. I'm in sixth gear. sixth gear, you have to move the stick all the way right and down into the fifth gear position. So, fifth gear. Now I'm in fourth gear. And to stop, stopping the semi is probably the most important process that you have to do when driving a semi, because there's a multitude of situations where you can stop. For example, like if you stop at an intersection, or if you stop before a railroad track, in different emergency situations like that. What you want to do is you want to let off the gas, or you don't have to, but you want to press the clutch in so it takes away power to your transmission, and then you want to take it out of gear, use your brake, stop. So it's important to use the clutch, because if you just use the brake, your transmission is still pushing against your brake, and it will create wear on your brake over time. So you want to use the clutch to stop. And then after your stop, you want to re-engage your brakes by pulling it outwards, and you're stopped. And you want to repeat that process anytime you drive a semi. So that's how you shift gears on a 10-speed manual Eaton Fuller transmission.